Days can end with a quiet war still running inside us. Nothing anyone else could see. Just the low churn of an argument we keep replaying. A moment we needed to win and didn't. The part of us that wanted to be right more than it wanted to be at peace. Tonight, Paul writes to us about a wisdom the world calls foolish, and Bishop Sheen names where every war truly begins. In our Friday evening reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 1, we hear, "Brothers and sisters, Christ did not send me to baptize, but to preach the gospel, and not with the wisdom of human eloquence, so that the cross of Christ might not be emptied of its meaning. The message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." There is a kind of wisdom the world trusts completely. The clever argument, the eloquence that wins the room. Paul knows it well, and he sets it down. He does not want the cross explained so beautifully that it stops meaning anything. The cross was never an argument to be won. It was a love that let itself be broken open for us. And no amount of human eloquence can improve on that or soften it. Sit with that word foolishness. To the world, a God who saved by dying looks like weakness. For those being saved, it is the very power of God. The same thing looks like defeat from one side and like salvation from the other. And where we are standing changes everything. For it is written, "I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and the learning of the learned I will set aside." Where is the wise one? Where is the scribe? Where is the debater of this age? Has not God made the wisdom of the world foolish? For since in the wisdom of God, the world did not come to know God through wisdom, it was the will of God through the foolishness of the proclamation to save those who have faith. We have all met the wise one, the scribe, the debater of his age. Some days we have been them, certain we had the whole thing figured out, sure that if we thought hard enough, we could reason our way to peace. And Paul says gently but plainly that the world did not come to know God that way, not through cleverness, not through being the sharpest voice in the room. God chose a different door, one low enough that a tired person at the end of a long day could walk through. And that door is simple faith. For Jews demand signs and Greeks look for wisdom, but we proclaim Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But to those who are called, Jews and Greeks alike, Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. For the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than human strength. Christ crucified, offered to us plainly, not dressed up in cleverness or made to sound impressive. The weakness of God is stronger than human strength. We spend so much of ourselves trying to be strong enough to hold everything together. And here Paul tells us the strongest thing in all creation looked, from the outside, like a man who had lost. The church gives us Psalm 33 to carry alongside these words, and it widens the view. The Lord brings to naught the plans of nations. He foils the designs of peoples. But the plan of the Lord stands forever, the design of his heart through all generations. Every plan we grip so tightly, every design we are sure depends on us. All of it passes. What stands is the plan of his heart. And the psalm tells us how that plan feels when it touches the ground of an ordinary life. The earth is full of the goodness of the Lord, not full of cleverness, full of His goodness given freely. Welcome to the Sacred Heart family. I'm Aaron. We pray together, walk with the saints, and reflect on the gospel every day. If this is the type of reflection your evening needs, like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. As we prepare our hearts for rest, we now turn to the wisdom of Bishop Fulton Sheen. Wars come from egotism and selfishness. Every macrocosmic or world war has its origin in microcosmic wars going on inside of millions and millions of individuals. We hear the word war and we picture armies and borders, things far away and beyond our reach. Sheen turns our eyes inward instead. The great wars of the world, he tells us, are only the small wars of the human heart grown large. The resentment we nursed, the grudge we would not release, the quiet insistence on getting our own way, multiplied across millions of us until it spills out into the world, which means the peace of the world begins in a peace we can actually reach tonight, not in a treaty or a headline, but in one heart laying down its own small war. The ego that needed to win today's argument, the self that wanted to be served instead of to serve. This is where the cross meets us again, because letting go feels exactly like the foolishness Paul described. It feels like losing, and it is the only way anything is ever truly won. So before we close our eyes, is there a small war we can lay down? Not solve, not justify. Just set it at His feet and leave it there. He can carry what we cannot, and He has never once asked us to win the world before we are allowed to rest. Share your intentions in the comments of the video so that the Sacred Heart family may walk with you in faith and charity. Tonight's Catholic evening prayers are waiting for you at the website. Click the link at the center of the screen now, and I'll see you there. God bless.